Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're planning a trip to Rome or dreaming of one, today's video is a must-watch. We're diving into some common scams and tourist traps that you should be aware of to keep your experience in this beautiful city as enjoyable as possible. Let's get started! Ever been handed a rose or a bracelet by a stranger in Rome? While it might sound like a gesture of friendship, often it's not. Here's the scoop. You're walking through the historic center or near iconic monuments, and someone friendly comes up, strikes a conversation, and offers you a bracelet or a rose as a gift. But the catch? After placing it in your hand or tying it to your wrist, they'll demand money in return. And if you try to refuse, they might get pushy or even aggressive. So, what should you do? Smile, politely decline, and keep walking. Remember, you have no obligation to pay for something you never asked for. Now, who doesn't love gelato? In Rome, it's practically a must-have, but you've got to watch out for the gelato traps. Some places, especially those in highly touristic areas, might lure you in with mountains of brightly colored gelato. Think neon blue or electric green. But here's the thing. Authentic gelato isn't supposed to look like a paint party. If it's excessively shiny or piled up like a small mountain, chances are it's loaded with artificial colors and sugars. Some shops even used crushed spiders to give it a speckled color. Gross, I know. My advice? Look for places where the gelato is stored properly under covers and sports more natural, muted colors. These spots are more likely to serve the real deal, which tastes better and is better for you. And best of all, no spiders. When you're dining out in Rome, be cautious of restaurants with tourist menus plastered outside. These places often have massive menus promising every Italian dish you can imagine. Sounds good? Maybe not. Such extensive menus can mean the food isn't fresh, and that ingredients are likely frozen and reheated. Plus, they might charge you a premium just because you're a tourist. Instead, seek out smaller places with more focused menus, or better yet, follow the locals to where they eat. A genuine Italian meal awaits you there with freshness and authenticity on the plate. Rome is a haven for art lovers, but be careful about where you buy your art. In tourist-heavy spots, you might encounter artists who display beautiful, finished pieces that they claim are their own creations. However, some of these works might be mass-produced or mere prints. If you see an artist who has a setup but doesn't seem to make much progress on their art, or if their pieces look suspiciously similar to others around the city, they might not be the real deal. A good tip is to ask them if they have an online portfolio or an Instagram page where you can see more of their work. This way, you can ensure you're buying authentic, original art directly from the person who made it. Something almost every traveler is warned about is pickpockets, especially in a bustling tourist hub like Rome. These crafty thieves tend to operate in crowded places like airports, train stations, buses, and busy tourist spots such as the Colosseum or the Trevi Fountain. They're particularly adept at targeting tourists, who are often distracted by the sights and sounds of the city. To protect yourself, always keep your belongings secure. Use crossbody bags and keep them in front. Avoid storing valuables in your back pockets and be extra cautious in crowded areas. Another smart tip? Use carabiners to clip your bag zippers shut. It's a simple trick that can deter a pickpocket looking for an easy target. Overcharging is a common issue in many tourist destinations, and Rome is no exception. You might encounter this in restaurants, bars, or shops where prices aren't clearly listed. Sometimes, you might not even see a menu with prices, which is a huge red flag. To avoid being overcharged, always ask to see a menu with prices before ordering. It's also a good idea to get a general sense of what common items should cost in the area. You can ask your hotel or local acquaintances what the usual prices are for a meal, a coffee, or a gelato. And remember, by law in Italy, you must always receive a receipt for your purchase. So don't hesitate to ask for one if it's not automatically given. This helps ensure transparency and can also be useful if you need to make a complaint about overcharging. Beware of the helpful local scam, particularly around ticket machines at metro stations or bus terminals. Here's how it works. A seemingly friendly local notices you struggling with the ticket machine and offers to help. While it might seem like a kind gesture, it often ends with them demanding money for their assistance. Worse yet, they might have an accomplice who will try to pickpocket you while you're distracted. To avoid falling victim to this scam, it's best to seek help directly from official personnel at ticket counters or from security staff. If no one official is available, try to figure it out yourself or ask another tourist for assistance. And always keep an eye on your belongings whenever you're dealing with public ticket machines or similar situations. Imagine wandering into a quaint pizzeria, tempted by the aroma of what could only be described as the perfect Italian pizza. The chef, a charismatic fellow with a twinkle in his eye, welcomes you. But little do you know he's not just a master of dough and tomato sauce. This fake chef bakes his pizzas with a special ingredient: ground sleeping tablets. Before you know it, you're snoozing at your table. Meanwhile, our chef is busy not in the kitchen, but rifling through your pockets and bags. You wake up hours later, minus your wallet, phone, and bizarrely, your shoes, left to wander the cobblestone streets in a haze. If your pizza smells oddly like lavender or chamomile, and the chef keeps asking if you're feeling sleepy, it might be time to bolt, preferably with your shoes still on. Stick to well-reviewed eateries where the chefs are too busy tossing real pizzas rather than plotting theatrical heists. And remember, the best pizza shouldn't make you drowsy, just full and happy. And finally, the fake taxi scam. Always use official taxis, especially when leaving airports or train stations. Official taxis have a fixed rate from airports to the city center and should always use the meter. Avoid anyone inside the airport offering taxi services. They're likely not legitimate. Rome is a stunning city with so much to offer, but like any major tourist destination, it has its share of pitfalls. Staying informed and cautious can help ensure that your visit is nothing but enjoyable. If you've ever encountered these scams or have your own tips, share them in the comments below. We appreciate your support more than you could ever know. Please make sure to like and subscribe to get notified when we post our latest travel tips videos. Stay safe and travel smart.